What's up? What's up? What's up? How's it going, brother? Oh,
No,
how the fuck did you do that?
I have no idea.
Dude, these computers doing all kinds of crazy shit. Is that how? I don't know. Dude, wow, that's fucking wild. Just
Wait,
mysterious thumbs up.
Does that work?
Yeah, does that do anything? Anyway, what's up, guys? All right. We got a couple people on already. We already got a comment. Let's see what's going on. Who is here? JP. Man, Ryan needs to shave. No, he's gonna get that Jesus look going, man. You gotta see it. It's awesome. It takes him about like 3 weeks, man. This shit gets fucking nuts.
Yeah, just look at last week's show.
Hey, what's up, Karen? Yeah, it was like half of that last week.
I trimmed here and like here.
Yeah, because that's annoying as fuck.
Oh, I don't like hair in my mouth when I'm trying to eat.
Yeah. What's up, Jared Haggerty? Halloween Haunts 365 in the house.
Yeah, when I'm trying to eat food or otherwise.
Dude. Alrighty then. So Rick Paulton, Ryan Edmond, ready to go. Today we are talking 1991 horror movies, and we will have a guest joining us sometime. I sent her the invite. She's probably seen it. Hopefully she's seen it. Nina Yarington, formerly of the Dolls of Horror. So she will be on with us to rank our top 5 movies of 1991.
Before that, though.
Okay.
Can we rank the top one NFL quarterback performance from last week?
Oh, whatever, dude. Whatever. Sun shines on a dog's ass every now and again, as they say.
158.3.
Yeah. Well, he's not the first one to do that. He's just the first opposing quarterback to do that in Lambeau.
Yeah, against a tough defense.
Didn't he also have a 0 quarterback rating once?
You can't have a 0. I think 39.9 is the lowest.
I think you can have a 0.
No, QBR you can have a 0.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Which QBR is a bullshit stat that ESPN made up. Quarterback rating, there's a formula to it.
Jared says, sure as fuck wasn't scrub-ass Jalen Hurts.
No, it wasn't. Oh, my God. How can they lose
They're
that
in bad
game?
shape, aren't they?
Yeah, because Dallas got their asses kicked by Buffalo. Philly had a golden opportunity to take first place because we know they can't beat Dallas. They've already proven that. And then they fucking blow it to Seattle with a backup quarterback.
St. John's, Michigan, Jason in the house. Rob
Dowell.
How you doing, brother? He dressed up as Santa Jason and did an event. I seen that on the Facebooks. And was taking pictures with kids and whatnot.
Santa Jason, always an A+, man.
Yeah, good stuff. So while we're waiting on our guest, might as well throw out the award-winning St. John's, Michigan Jason. Might as well throw out your pick for tonight for the football, the football game.
Well, South Jersey Jason is also award-winning as well.
Yes, he is.
They both are.
Five time.
We have the most decorated listeners and guests.
Mm-hmm.
They've all won.
Yeah, that's it.
Everything.
Man. All we do is win, no matter what. Is that song goes.
How many does Eminizer have? 3 or 4?
5. He's the five time.
So he's the Booker T.
The Booker T. Nina's just popping in
of Jason cosplay. That's great.
Right on. So we are going to go ahead and put our guest, Nina, into the show. Bam! Look at that. Through the magic of technology. How's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
We are fan-freaking-tastic.
Awesome.
Right on. So we were just discussing a bunch of nonsense. Ryan threw a thumbs up into his camera, and then like a little Facebook thumbs up went into his screen thing. That's weird.
Magic.
You don't know how that happened. It was crazy. Just all this crazy technology that we don't understand because we're old. So
it's
how
not
are you
any
doing,
better
Nina?
for the rest of us.
What's that?
It's not any better for the rest of us.
All right. So tonight we are going to discuss 1991, the year in horror. But before we do that, let's get to know Nina a little bit. So Nina, where are you from? What do you do?
So I currently live in Chicago. I was doing Dolls of Horror podcast, and then I recently left them, and I'm going to be starting up some new projects in 2024. I'm really excited about that. Can't really
As are
talk
we.
about specifics right now, but
Yeah.
you guys will
We
be
wouldn't
knowing
expect you
very
to,
soon.
but when you do have specifics locked down, you let us know, and we will talk about them.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'm
Right.
excited.
But what do you do for a job? What kind of thing are you into there?
I work in health insurance.
Awesome. That's exciting.
No,
That's
it's not.
what my brother does too.
We have lame jobs too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, but people come to me for advice, and I'm like, I don't know what they're telling you, but ignore all of that.
We were going to start selling not health insurance. I work at a check cashing store. A couple years ago, we decided that we were going to start selling auto insurance and maybe health insurance too, as like something else we offered. And I had to take these classes, and it's some of the most confusing shit. I'm so glad we abandoned that.
Yeah, I started in Medicaid and Medicare, and that was a nightmare. So I'm glad I'm on more of the commercial private side of it now. So
Right on.
yeah.
Ironically, my or coincidentally, not ironically, coincidentally, my brother does the same thing as you, and the
really?
company he works for, also coincidentally, is the company that my company gives us our health insurance from. It's really weird.
Nice.
Right on. Hey, we got all kinds of people popping up. We got Kevin Ellis from the Spooky Horror Picture Podcast. I always
Spooky Picture Show.
Spooky Picture Show. God damn, get a name I can remember, Kevin. But they just dropped a new episode today. Charles Sherrod of the Dive Podcast. He's on a plane, so I guess it means no Dive Podcast tonight.
See, that's an easy one to remember for you.
The name of the Dive?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is easy.
It sounds like any bar we want to go to. You know?
Any bar, and maybe went to and maybe not want to go to.
Yeah.
They're there. They suck. JP Cross from A Killer's Confession in the house. His podcast drops tonight. He's doing Sin and Nerds podcast. Subscribe to them on the YouTube, on the Apple Podcast, all of those different places that you could do podcasts. See,
definitely.
See, I'm representing this band right here. And Ryan's gone, but he'll be back, I'm sure. I don't know what happened. He's only half gone because his box is here.
We can still hear him. It's fine.
Ryan, can you hear us? Oh, he's gone.
No.
He'll pop back in, though. Even one of our co-hosts messes up the name of Kevin to his podcast. He did one of these Year in Horror podcasts with us. The year Jaws came out. We're going to go with 83. Probably.
I think I watched that one recently.
Oh, good. You had to get an idea.
Yeah, just to get an idea of what it was going to be. And I was like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's fun. We like I said, no rules. We just talk shit for about an hour usually. And, sometimes they're good, sometimes not so much. Last week we had Craig Muckler on. Are you familiar with that guy?
I've heard of him, yeah.
I met him at the first convention I ever went to, Cinema Wasteland. It's a convention in Cleveland.
Ooh, yeah.
You know about it?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Everybody knows about it. It's 5 minutes from me, and I've lived here for my whole life. I've never heard of it. Wow. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so crazy. Like, and Ryan, too, he's from Cleveland, both hardcore horror fans, never heard of this place. So I went there last year.
I didn't hear about it till this year, so.
Yeah, I went there last year or this past year that they had it, and I seen the Microwave Massacre banner, and I had just watched that for one of our Year in Horror reviews, and he's back now. Is he still down here? Okay, bam. So
okay, I had to relocate.
It's all good, brother.
There we go.
So I see this banner and I run over to talk to him because the Microwave Massacre movie is just so insane that it's not a good movie. I'm not going to say it's a good movie, but it's insane. So I went over to talk to him about it, and he agreed to come on the podcast. And at that time, like we were just starting, and like just to get anybody was kind of, and he was cool. Don't get me wrong, and it was great that he took the time to come on. But he couldn't figure out the phone. He's shooting the camera up his nose. You can't interview the guy because he doesn't stop talking.
No.
So we usually go for about an hour. We were like 25 minutes in, like, so we're going to get out of here, man. Thanks for coming. And then we did another half hour without him.
Yeah.
And it's like, now you know why the movie sucked.
Great dude, though, man. He really is. He's a nice guy. He's had some crazy life experiences. Like, Rock Hudson's mom was his babysitter when he was a kid. Shit like that.
What?
Al Pacino's stepmom does a podcast with him. Just crazy weird shit.
First off, How is Al Pacino's mom still alive? Like, no offense, but like this
Stepmom.
dude is old.
She's
Oh,
actually about 10
stepmom.
years
Okay.
younger than Al.
Okay, it makes sense now.
Yeah, Sal's his father. He passed a couple years ago, and he was like he was in his 80s, 90s when he passed. And then
Yeah.
she's in her like 60s or 70s, and I think Al's somewhere in the 80s. Al's 80, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to.
She's way younger than him.
I got to admit, last week when we were interviewing
Craig.
Yeah. that was the first time I broke. Like, I just a couple of different times I just started laughing like out of nowhere. Like, and I'm pretty good at
Aaron said,
keeping that
funny.
in.
You never stop talking.
I'm pretty good at keeping that in, but just like,
because it got to a point where we're just looking at each other like we don't know what to do.
I tell you what,
though, we got to get him out of here.
I tell you what, though, that guy, everyone he talks about, he puts over huge, though.
Oh yeah, so hopefully he does the same for us when he's talking to people.
Yeah.
So anywho, let's get to the business at hand. 1991. So I usually start this off with a little recap of things that were going on in 1991. We got the end of the Cold War, the collapse of the Soviet Union, Operation Desert Storm started. Remember that, Ryan?
Desert
How old
Shield.
are you, Nina? By the way, if you don't mind, if you don't want to say, you don't have to say.
I plead the fifth, but I was not around for that one.
I didn't think so. I thought you were considerably younger than us. That's all.
Yeah.
All right.
It was actually
I'm born in 79 and Ryan's like 81, I think.
Yeah. It was actually I was born in January 1980, but thank you.
So you're less than 6 months younger than me then.
I know I am.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like a year and 6 months.
No.
Okay.
And it was actually Operation Desert Shield first.
But this in 91 is when Desert Storm started. Do you remember the trading cards that Topps put out for this? You had the Storm and Norman rookie, and oh, dude, it was insane.
I actually
propaganda.
I just had a conversation about this not even 2 weeks ago. And then 1991 Topps Baseball, they put out the special, and they were Desert Shield before Storm.
Yeah.
With the gold stamp on there, and the Chipper Jones rookie from that set is astronomically valuable.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
I'm certain I had it. And then Mike Tyson, arrested and convicted for raping Desiree Washington in Miss Black America contest.
That's right.
Yeah, not so good. Had some bursts. We had Offset and Quavo were born that year.
See, now I'm dating myself because I have no idea who the fuck that is.
Two of the Migos.
Oh, I know who
That's all I know.
Okay.
And Ric Flair had a song with them. One of them. Offset. Yeah, him and Offset. The Ric Flair drip. And I only know that because I'm a huge Ric Flair mark. All right, so what do we got? We got Jeremy Allen White, who is starring in the Iron Claw movie with the Von Erichs. He was also on Shameless and The Bear.
Yeah, I know who that is.
If you've seen The Bear on Hulu, it's a great show.
Not yet.
Especially for people that worked in restaurants. Ice Cube's kid was born. Ed Sheeran was born. I know he sings. I couldn't tell you a song.
Oh, I could. I'm a metal rock and metal guy, but that guy's insanely talented.
Oh yeah, he is. I know he is. Travis Scott. The only reason I know his name is because he had a Happy Meal at McDonald's.
No idea.
We got Travis Scott, and he's got. I think he's the dude that has his own Jordans. I think.
Only Jordan should have his own Jordans.
I don't know how this stuff works. The kids they might know. Sadly, the deaths were as per usual much more important people than the people that were born. You had Red Fox pass that year.
Oh man,
one of the greatest ever comedians.
Definitely.
Dr. Seuss passed that year. Don't know his real name.
I don't either. I used to.
I did too. I forget. Freddie Mercury, quite possibly the greatest frontman of all time.
Yeah.
One of the greatest voices for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
And Gene Roddenberry.
Oh, Star Trek
creator.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are much bigger names than Travis Scott.
Much bigger names than Travis Scott. But if we have anybody in their 20s in the comments, they might know those guys. I don't know. So the way we usually do this is we rank our 5 movies, and like you'll start because you'll start this way because you're the guest. We usually go to you first, and you'll say whatever your 5th movie is. We'll talk about it a little bit, and if me and Ryan have it on our list, we'll say where it is on our list, so we don't have to re-go over it when it goes back to us. Because I'm sure With this year, though, I think we're not going to have 15 different movies, but I think we're going to have 10.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think we're all going to have the same list.
We might have
There's a
more
lot of-
because we might have more because I actually have a supplemental list.
A supplemental list. Okay,
Yeah.
well, we'll get into that.
And then I have another list, a bonus list for the end.
Right on, cool. So, like, you start at number 5. We'll talk about the movie for a minute. Then we'll all give like a letter grade of how good we thought it was. And what I do with the letter grades is, like I was telling you in the messages, this list is how much I like the movie. But when I grade it, I kind of grade it from a critic standpoint. Like I liked as we were talking about Microwave Massacre. I like that. I'm going to give it an F as a critic. It's not a good movie. All right, but I liked it. So but you do you. Again, we have no rules. So you go first with your number 5 movie.
All right, number 5 is Subspecies.
Subspecies. Okay,
Yeah.
that is not on my list.
Nor
Tell us a
mine.
little bit about that. Is it on your list?
So it's
Ryan? No. Okay.
It's from Charles Band, Full Moon Pictures, and it's a vampire movie that takes place in Eastern Europe somewhere. And it's not a good movie, but I love it. It's very campy, very cheesy, over the top.
I love
acting,
campy and cheesy.
and yeah, and it's early '90s, and it's like right at the peak of when.
And I knew you would,
so
JP.
good.
JP knows all those fucking movies.
He says, "I love subspecies." Definitely his
Yeah.
cup of tea. Oh, look at his fancy picture, by the way. Look at that. We got him
Wow.
playing the bass there and everything, looking all fancy. He'll let you know, though, that he was a guitar player. They just needed a bassist in that band. So he is a guitar player, not a bassist. He's a guitar player that plays bass.
Makes sense.
Adam, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying that makes sense.
Okay. Adam chimed in. Theodore Seuss Geisel is Dr. Seuss's
Theodore.
I wanted to say Ted, but I didn't want. I was
We
like,
want to be
You didn't know him that
We're
well.
going to be wrong on things. It's okay.
we're not on a first name basis.
No.
Right. So, Ryan, you can go with your number 5.
Okay. Well, back to Subspecies. I have seen it. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Definitely wouldn't make my top 5, although I didn't hate it from what I remember. Although it's been so long since I've seen it, I couldn't fairly grade it.
That's fair.
So
Yeah.
what grade would you give this movie, since you're the only one that it's fresh in their mind there?
We do letter grades here.
Yeah, because we stole this whole gimmick from the Death Curse Society. They scale them 1 to 10, and they do 10 movies. So we do 5, and we give letter grades to make it different. Kind of like how in Coming to America, there's the Big Mac and the Big Mick. All right?
Yes.
We ain't got no seeds on our buns.
It makes I would probably give this about, like, I really love this movie, but I'm gonna give it a D as a critic, just because it's very slow, and if you don't pay attention, you miss a lot, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, the subspecies are literally the ends of the guy's fingers cut off, and they're in the movie for like, I don't know, like 5 minutes, and you never see them again.
JP says a new subspecies movie came out last year.
It did. I went to see it at Alamo Drafthouse. It's very good. Much better than some of the sequels that have come out. It was a prequel, and everybody from the original cast came back. The original director came back, and it was magical. It was really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan, you're number 5. And by the way, guys, feel free to drop your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in the comments for the 1991 movies.
Okay.
Keep this as interactive as possible.
Okay, so strictly horror movies. Keep that in mind, because I have another list for later. Sometimes They Come Back is my number 5.
Sometimes, which I am actually in the middle of watching. I have 8 minutes left in it, so do not ruin the ending, because I
won't.
I got there. I'm there.
See, this is
I just came back. The brother just came back. There's like some crazy fight. All the greatest special effects. People's faces are melting. I needed 8 more minutes. I didn't get it. Okay.
See, this
It's a great movie.
It is great. I like it a lot.
This is a double whammy because I love Tom McLaughlin for the small body of work that he's done. I love it all. Spoiler alert: he made the best Friday the 13th movie.
That is your opinion, sir.
Yeah, I know.
That's a lot of people's opinions. So
obviously,
we are going to be giving away this CJ Graham autographed mask tonight.
That ties into Tom McLaughlin.
That it does. It ties into some other stuff too, but we'll get to that.
And obviously, the source material is Stephen King.
Because this was supposed to be in Cat's Eye.
And this,
yes.
yes. And this it's becoming a
Remember
theme.
we were talking about Cat's Eye on another show, and I said there's another movie that everybody knows that was supposed to be on it. I think this is what I was talking about, but I didn't know that then.
Yeah, and it's becoming a theme too with these year in reviews. Stephen King, as a writer, is made, I think, every year.
Yeah,
stuck into one of our top fives.
I mean, well, he is the king of horror for a reason. It's gonna happen. Right on. Okay, so for that movie, it is not on my list because I am 8 minutes away from finishing it, but I have seen enough of it where I can give it a letter grade. Okay. Is it on your list, Nina?
It is not. It almost got on, but it
got
beat out by a few others. Yeah, it was really hard to pick 5.
Yeah, I have 5 and I have a couple on the outskirts of 5 because I just couldn't do it. But for this movie, I mean it's a made-for-TV movie, which those usually suck. I'm going to give this
a made-for-TV movie though.
What's that?
It doesn't feel like a made-for-TV.
No, it doesn't at all.
No.
Like I mean, it's pretty sweet. I'm going to give it a C+. C+. And that's without seeing the ending. So could drop it to a C, could raise it to a B.
Yeah, I think C+ is pretty fair. It's right on the verge.
That's also my grade.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
C+ is all around.
So we are at my number 5 movie, right?
Yep.
So this movie, ironically enough, I got into because of your former podcast. And it is Basket Case 3.
That's on my list. That's my number 4.
Awesome. Awesome. It's not on Ryan's, I promise.
I've never seen it. Never seen it.
I love Basket Case.
The first one.
All right. So, in my opinion, 1 is the best movie, and they go downhill after that. But the effects go uphill, because the first one, Bilal was just like this foam guy that he didn't move at all, and his eyes lit up or something, But by the end of it, I mean, he's running around and doing all this crazy shit. But yeah, no, it's just absolute insanity. I have notes on that somewhere. Let's see. Basket Case. It was directed by Frank
Henenlotter.
Thank you. Henenlotter.
I love it.
Starring Kevin Van Hentenryck. Sounds very, very German.
Yeah.
But he was Dwayne Bradley, because it's about these. Well, you seen the first one. It's the Siamese twins that are separated, and then Annie Ross, who was Granny Ruth. I really dug it. It's a very fun movie. It's again, if I'm grading Ryan disappeared again. Where'd he go? He dropped his phone. It's a very fun movie, and like they get more insane as they go on. I think 1 had a better story. And it was like a better constructed movie. But if you're into just insanity, 2 and 3 are better, and this is what you get is absolute insanity and crazy creatures all over the place. One of them was played by James Franco's brother.
That's right.
The other brother, not David Franco, but yet another brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all look exactly the same, though. You wouldn't be able to tell them apart in a lineup. But
and also Jim Doherty, I think is his name. He played Little Hal, and there's a scene in there that he completely improvised. The birthing scene of Belial's children.
Oh yeah,
completely improvised, and it's the highlight of the film. It's fantastic. He's like, and another one. Like it's great.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's not even I don't even want to say it's a so bad it's good movie, because that's not even what it is. It's just insane.
It's what I would consider a horror comedy. Like they're in on the from part 2 on. Like it's so fun. It's
so much fun. Yeah, I had a great time watching it. But like I said, I got into that because of the Dolls of Horror podcast. That's why I told I sent a message to oh my God, Jamie. And I told her, I was like, you guys always gave me good ideas for movies that I normally wouldn't watch, so you better still do that.
Oh, absolutely, definitely.
Yes, you would. So, I would give this movie a C.
I would also give it a C. I think the special effects are fantastic. The acting is fantastic. The story, not so good.
Not as good, but it had some crazy stuff going on, like when she was singing Personality, and dude, it was a riot.
You can't help but just dance along with it, It's so
The
much
person,
fun.
the person that owned the rights to that song found out it was her singing it and had them only pay $1 for it, which I found out, and I
Wow.
thought that was pretty cool.
I
But again, I
actually have
found
that
that
on
out
my
on the internet, so
Spotify.
who knows what's cool, what's real in there. JP, I love all the basket case movies because, of course, he does.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, JP is into some crazy shit. All right, so you said that was your number 4 movie, right?
Yeah.
So we are on to Ryan with his number 4 movie.
My number 4 is Puppet Master 3.
Puppet Master 3, and I seen all of those 100 years ago. I don't remember them at all.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
So
Yeah.
we are going to go back from the beginning and start watching those real soon.
I think I don't think it's the best of them, but I think it's my favorite of them.
There's two Puppet Master movies that came out that year, right?
Two. I mean, it was technically released in '90. The second one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it was on one of the lists I seen, but you know how these lists are sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go with 1990 on that one, but I like the third. I like the third one better anyway. So.
Right on.
So I mean, anytime Nazis get killed, I'm
That's
all
always a good thing, right?
Yeah,
Never a bad
little
thing.
bit of bonus points.
I love the origin story of Leech Woman and Blade in there. That was Grant. That was fantastic.
I was somewhere and they were actually was at Screamers in Detroit. I think they were selling the actual puppets. They're about yay tall.
Mm-hmm.
They look.
Yeah.
That's about how big they were in the movie, right? So they're like life size.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah. I don't know what they were charging for them because I didn't have any money because I spent all money on the concerts and stuff I was up there for, and so I didn't even ask.
For the replicas, I think it's $200 to $300, just depending on which one it is.
That's about what I was figuring they were going to go for, and that's why I didn't bother to ask.
Real quick,
I would be interested, but not that day.
real super duper quick sidebar. I know you saw Pantera recently, Rick.
Yeah.
How much did you pay for just that show?
Well, it was Pantera and Metallica, 2 days worth.
But yeah, how much?
I want to say that our tickets were between 150 and 200.
Okay. The very first time Rick and I met in person was at a Pantera concert, and that was back in the 90s with the original lineup.
$15 to $20.
We paid $15.
Wow. Okay. Never mind.
Inflationary times.
So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah.
And that was with Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul. So.
Oh wow.
In their
the
prime.
Stones are coming through.
Yeah.
The Stones are coming through in Chicago next year, and I looked at the tickets just to see because I know it's not going to happen, but I just wanted to see, and I'm like, oh, I'd have to take out a loan, I'd have to sell a kidney.
I was just going to say, Nina, you don't happen to have a spare kidney, do you?
I wish.
we didn't even get good seats either. Like we were pretty high up.
Oh, even the nosebleeds, I could not.
Our $15 tickets for Pantera were pit tickets. We went 3 feet from the stage.
I actually drank a beer with Phil Anselmo that day.
Yeah.
Well, he dumped it down my throat, but same thing. Yeah, he was a Heineken. I remember that.
So, but yeah, Puppet Master 3 is also a C+ for me.
C+. What would you give it, Nina?
I'd probably give it a C, just straight C. I think it's a really good movie. It can be a little dry and slow, and there's not as much action as some of the other ones, but I think it's a really great origin story for the Puppet Master.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, I'm gonna. Those are on the list to get to, but I have not gotten to them yet. So that was yours. So is it my turn?
Your 4.
No, my 4. Okay. I gotta look. A movie that Ryan despises. Freddy's Dead.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Fuck off.
You don't like it either?
No.
No. Am I the only person in the world that? Hey, Jared, you still in the comments? Do you like Freddy's Dead? He's the biggest Freddy fan in the world.
He doesn't like it.
All movies about to watch Iron Claw. Hope show goes well. Gonna share. Thanks, Jess. Freddy's Dead is garbage. So we found a movie JP does not like.
Yeah, thank you.
I guess
JP.
I'm the only one.
JP
I thought it was great.
JP
really
doesn't.
It's not. I like it better than 4. I like it better than. Yeah, I like the movie. I don't know. It was made with a $6 million budget, and it made $11 million budget, made $35 million. The only one to have a female director, Rachel Talalay, who also did Doctor Who and Marvel TV and DC shows.
She moved on to bigger and better things.
Of it. I like the Looney Tunes vibe. I liked Roseanne and Tom. I thought they were one of the highlights of it. I just thought they looked so creepy and so like I don't know. I just really I liked the movie a lot. I did not like his daughter.
No,
she was horrible. She was the most wooden actress I've ever seen in any film.
The lead actress, yeah, that's pretty sad.
Billy Zane's sister. I don't remember her name.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's something Zane. She's a Zane. The only watch. Oh yeah, that's right. JP doesn't like Nightmare on Elm Street.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, the only watchable Elm Street is Part 3, and even that one is he says.
Get out of here.
He's wrong.
No.
Yeah,
he's wrong because 84 is one of the greatest horror movies of all time. And I guess 3 is up there too.
3 is better than 1.
Yeah, and they're both better than Freddy's Dead, but I still like it. And out of these movies, and I knew you wouldn't like it. I didn't think everybody else would hate it, though. So I guess you guys are going to give that an F, huh? Big old fat F?
It's absolutely an F.
I'll give it a D just because of Robert Englund.
Robert's amazing. I really liked it, man.
Robert Englund was terrible in that movie. The first time he even shows up, it's that Wicked Witch of the Well. I get you, my pretty little
great.
Terrible.
Oh, I loved it.
I mean, he's only reciting the words on the page. I get it, but
yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to give it a C plus.
Like when the source material is that bad, Daniel Day-Lewis can't do anything about it either. You know. Did anyone in the comments like Freddy's Dead? Anybody? No.
Probably not. Probably not. I think I'm literally the only guy. The only guy. Okay. All right. Let's get rid of this Freddy's Dead. And
I will tell you though.
Number 3 movie.
My third list though. That movie is on it.
Oh, okay. You must have a list for bad movies that came out.
I do.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about those. All right, Nina. Your number 3 movie of 1991.
Okay. It might be controversial why it's only in 3, but Silence of the Lambs.
All right. And me and Ryan are working on a show that we're going to do called What is Horror? Because this movie falls into that category where it's borderline. Some people don't consider it horror. When I was looking to watch it the other day, I was on Max and I went to the horror section and it wasn't there, but its sequels were, So it was on because it wasn't on there, but it was under drama or some other shit. So I watched it. I consider it horror. Most people I know consider it horror.
The psychological thriller slash like.
It is a subgenre of horror. It is psychological horror because it fucks with your head before it really gets to you.
Right, and I that's what I think, and that's why we're going to do this whole what is horror thing because I think Harry Potter could be considered horror. It's got fucking werewolves and shit.
Gateway horror.
It's got witches.
Gateway horror. I like that. I like that term.
That's what I call it. Anything that you could let your kids watch, but it could potentially give them nightmares if they're too young. Like
so, like when
Gremlins or
I was just gonna say, like when we were kids, like Gremlins. Yeah,
exactly.
This is about the best I'm gonna do about the Freddy's Dead. Adam said he loved Freddy's Dead at 11, but it did not age well. So I got like a half of a vote. Can I count that as half?
No, because when I was 11, I probably enjoyed it too because I saw it in the theater with the stupid glasses and everything.
Oh yeah, I seen it in 3D as well.
Yeah,
and I think I did see it in the theater. I'm not 100% sure, but
I
we were talking about
definitely did.
Silence of the Lambs won 5 Academy Awards. It was the 3rd movie to sweep the Big 5 category ever. I don't remember the other 2. I didn't write them down.
Yeah, it's one of the movies everyone is. Whenever you're like, well, horror doesn't get enough recognition, everyone's like, well, what about Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah.
So
it's the one.
That was 30 years ago.
Silence of the Lambs, to me, I mean, we don't really need to discuss the plot. We all know it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely an A for me, but it's not on my list of horror movies. But I have it on another list that I'll get.
He's got a list because there's a lot of movies that came out this year that are borderline horror.
Yes.
I think that he wouldn't tell me what his list was, but
I have a list of 3 movies that I think are better than any of the ones on my list of top 5 horror.
Right.
And Silence of the Lambs is absolutely top of them all.
Yeah.
So with Silence of the Lambs, Buffalo Bill had elements of Ed Gein, Ted Bundy, and serial killer guy from Cleveland, from Eastlake, actually, close enough. Gary Heidnick?
Hi,
No.
Nick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I got the worst handwriting in the world. I don't know if you can see that. It sucks. I can't even read it myself. I write this stuff down. I can't read it. Like I said, the 5 Oscars. Chris Rowan owns the Buffalo Bills house. You could follow them on Facebook.
We've met him.
We met him, yes. And I met him a couple times. And he rents out the house. You could do overnights there, just tours, everything like that. So check him out. Death Curse Society had him on as a guest, and the final girl from the movie was also on their show. I have Silence of the Lambs number 2.
Yeah,
on my list.
You have it at 2. Yeah,
I have it at 2.
Rightfully so. I mean,
and it's an A.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely an A.
All right. Okay. So Ryan's next with number 3.
My number 3 is a film called Popcorn.
I seen that.
My honorable mentions
on my list, but I did not see it because only so many hours in a day, and I got to as many as I could. Didn't make it.
And it features one of our favorites, Rick.
Who's that?
Dee Wallace.
Oh, no shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like I said, I work 80 hours a week. It sucks. 8 days a week, 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
And I was writing down all the movies I thought that would come up and like little facts about them and things, and I only got like 7 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
You'll like it though when you watch it. It's fun.
Yeah.
It is. It takes elements of other like horror movies. Like it definitely takes stuff from like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, I love Texas Chainsaw.
Well, I won't go too into details, but the killer likes to change his identity.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. With faces.
Oh, so like
big leather face,
Texas Chainsaw, things like that.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And the whole concept, Popcorn, it's people that want to have like a horror movie marathon, and they start getting picked off.
Oh, that sounds like something I would really love.
You absolutely would like
it. Yeah. All right. Okay, so what would you grade Popcorn?
It's also a C+. I'm still in that realm.
And Nina?
I'd give it a C+. It's a lot of fun, but there's some slow moments and there's a lot of there's some things that could have been tightened up a little bit, but it's a really good
agree.
movie.
Okay.
And Dee Wallace she's in so many horror movies, man.
I
love her.
I do too.
She's one of us. JP says he met Jill. She is super sweet. And I think Jill is the final girl from Silence of the Lambs. No, I got a copy of Popcorn. Jill, I don't know who that is. Somebody in Popcorn. Okay. But I never seen the movie, so I don't know who she is. But
you're 3. You're 3, Rick.
Okay, my number 3. A movie I just watched for the first time. Highway to Hell. Fucking loved it. And that was before I knew that CJ Graham was in it.
I love the album.
And that too. I thought it was freaking amazing. Highway to Hell. Directed by somebody whose name I cannot pronounce. A-T-E-D. Some foreign dude. Every one of his movies were foreign.
Oh, before I forget, the dude who directed Popcorn also directed Porky's.
Oh, Christmas Story guy, right?
No, it's not Bob. No.
Somebody told me on a podcast recently that, and I didn't think so either, but they told me Bob Clark directed Porky's.
No, he didn't.
Okay, and I think JP might have been that guy. I'm going to have to re-listen to his first episode of Cine Nerds and see if it was him.
No, it's Michael. It's Michael something or other. I forget.
Is it Mark Harrier?
That's it. Something like
okay.
That. And
right
Jill
is the final girl in Popcorn.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
It wasn't JP that said that. Okay.
No. He knows better than that.
Yeah, somebody said that recently, and I don't remember who it was. And I didn't think it was true, but the person that said it was somebody that I know knows her shit. So I was like, maybe I'm wrong. All right, cool. Nevertheless, so where were we at? We were at Highway to Hell. Ben Stiller, CJ Graham, Lita Ford, all in this movie. Gilbert Gottfried is Hitler.
Oh my god!
Ever see it?
What is this streaming on? No,
this is I watched it on Tubi.
I've never seen it either.
You got to see it. Lita Ford plays a hitchhiker. Do, 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 do. I can't read what that says, so I don't know. But there's a character named Adam. This is some. Oh, in the movie, he's from Cleveland. Yeah, that's what's funny because Cleveland basically is hell. And so I got a kick out of that. I laughed.
You got me at Gilbert Godfrey.
His part is very small.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. So it's really cool.
It doesn't matter if it's 2 seconds; it's enough.
Yeah, Ben Stiller's in there. Ben Stiller's dad's in there. Ben Stiller's sister.
Wow.
C.J. Graham is the main villain guy. Not the main villain, because the main villain's the devil. But he's a hell cop, and he's all made up and stuff.
Hell cop.
Yeah,
that's amazing. I love CJ.
Sweet, dude. I'm telling you, man. I don't know if have you seen it?
I have not, but I'm going to now. I'm going to do that tomorrow while I'm working.
Yeah, I'm thinking about watching that too now.
Highway to Hell is just fucking amazing. It's absolutely A+. AP. There you go. Christy Swanson. Yeah. Don't know who she is, but somebody was advertising them. What's that?
I absolutely know who that is too.
Oh, dude. Okay. I just know that today on like some of the horror groups I was in, just ironically, they were posting autographed pictures of her. Mm-hmm. I know she was in Playboy because that was one of the autographed pictures.
I was 11 years old in 1991, so I absolutely know who she is.
Well, same, but Lita Ford. That's I was thinking more of that because Lita Ford was all the way live. So since we're the CJ, no time like the present. Let's find out who's going to win this thing. She played Buffy. Oh, okay. Yeah. She did. So we're going to do the pool for the mask because this was the CJ Graham movie. So I figured it'd be appropriate.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're watching and you entered the contest, you might win a thing. You're going to need to message me your address, and then I'll mail this to you. Unless you're local, I'll just probably drive it to you.
And I like how he's doing this, too. We didn't do it at the beginning or at the end.
Yeah.
He did it in the middle. So
I had a plan. As soon as CJ Graham came up in the conversations when I was going to do it. Yeah. So if one of you guys had this movie on your list then earlier, then that's when. But let's see, that's your boy, isn't it?
That is Sean Siffel. Yeah, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
From Philadelphia, Illinois. All right, so he won the mask. There it is, guys. He's probably not even watching. That sucks.
He might be.
I haven't seen him comment. But
I'll text him after.
So neither one of you guys seen Highway to Hell, so you can't grade it. I'm gonna give it a B. A B.
It sounds like an A++++++, but I'll have to watch it.
Dude, it's really cool, man. It's a fun popcorn movie. It's not too serious. Yeah. There's a little bit of a twist, so you got that. The first 5 minutes of it kind of sucked, and I was like, because I changed it. I sat down to watch that, and then we threw on something else. I was down here with my wife watching it, and then I was at work, and I was like, well, I'll throw this on in the background while I'm working, and then I was just glued to it the whole time after that. So the first 5 minutes, get through that.
So we're on to Nina's number 2.
Okay.
Number 2, this is Gateway Horror. It is The Addams Family.
Just outside my top 5.
It was really hard for this one.
Yeah, I didn't rank it. I guess that is Gateway Horror. But I liked it.
Yeah.
You liked it?
Yeah.
There's so many double entendres throughout the whole thing.
That's true.
It's just minute by minute, it's constantly doing something that makes you just what did they just say? And this is a kid's movie, and I grew up with it. It has a special place in my heart. So, I love this movie.
I love Addams Family as well. My daughter, who's my son's really into horror. Well, I got a bunch of kids, but the 2 that live here, because the other ones are grown.
They don't count.
Yeah. So the 2 that live here, they're 9 and 11, I think. I don't know, something like that. The 9-year-old, he's really into horror. He watches all the bloodier, the crazier, the better. He loves everything. Jason's his favorite. He went to Camp Crystal Lake with me, all that stuff. And my daughter, who really doesn't like to watch horror movies, but she does like some things. And the things that she's into is more of the Psycho and The Exorcist are her favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Classic horror. We watched the old Dracula movie, the black and white, because she dug that. And she digs Addams Family, every iteration of it. The TV show, Wednesday. What's Wednesday's show? Is it called Wednesday?
Yes.
Yeah,
Netflix.
Wednesday. Mhm.
So she watches that. She watches this, and all the little girls her age, I guess, are into Wednesday at school.
Yeah, it's huge. It's everywhere.
Right. So she's into it. This is one that I've watched with her a couple times. And, Christina Ricci, Raul Julia, Angelica Houston, Christopher Lloyd, star-studded cast, top to bottom.
Save the best for last. Christopher Lloyd's my favorite in this.
He's fantastic.
Well, Raul Julia was just amazing in it.
Yeah.
This
Christina
mannerism
Ricci, I think, was 11 years old.
Yeah.
So $30 million budget, made $191 million, spawned a
huge.
couple sequels. Well, one sequel, and then like one straight to video where they like revamped the whole cast and nobody was in it, but it was still like a sequel. That I don't even
with
want
it had oh God, what is his name? Tim. Rocky Horror.
Tim
Oh,
Curry.
Tim, that guy, yeah. Sean Seifel would know
Idiot.
because it's his favorite actor.
Yeah, it is.
I've never played Tim Curry. There we go.
Tim Curry, that's the one.
I just said it.
I knew who he was though because of the Sean thing. See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now JP, Tim Curry. What was he? He wasn't Gomez or anything, was he?
He was Gomez in the
Yeah,
Oh
movie.
shit!
Yeah.
See, maybe I got to go watch that then.
Yeah.
Because I like the Addams Family. I like the old '50s show cartoons, everything.
I do too.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Raul Julia is always gonna be Gomez for me, though. I know everybody says that, but like he's perfect.
I think he was great. I think the new guy is more like Charles Addams wanted Gomez to be.
Yes.
So it's closer to his vision, but no, Raul Julia was just amazing in the role. Like to me, that's my Gomez.
Yeah.
It's a C for me.
To see?
Yeah.
All right.
I give it a B.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot, and I'll give it a B for sure. John Austin will always be Aston. I think his name was not Austin, but yes, typo probably. Will always be his Gomez. That was the original Gomez.
Yes,
he's still alive, isn't he?
I believe so.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's like 97 or something. Yeah, but if he's not still alive, he passed recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, the dude's like living forever, I guess.
So my number 2.
Your number 2. Yeah. Go ahead.
Body Parts.
Body Parts.
That's such a good one.
It's on the list, but I didn't see it, so like I couldn't get to it. Yeah. It looked really cool.
You'll love it. It has so many cameos in it.
Really cool concept.
Yeah.
What was this concept? Give it to me.
A guy loses his arm in a car accident, and they give him a new arm, and it was an arm of a serial killer.
Right on.
And the arm has a mind of its own, if you will.
I think I seen it as a kid, but I don't think I've seen it anytime recent. So obviously not enough information to give it a grade.
Paul Ben Victor's in it.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that?
Spiros from The Wire.
Spiros.
Remember the Greek?
No.
Season 2, the Greek, his right-hand man.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember that.
You absolutely remember that.
All right. I know I just watched The Wire relatively recently. I don't know. I have to look him up. Let's look him up, and then it'll make me remember. But
Paul Ben Victor. He got Paul Ben Victor. He got 3 first names.
Paul Ben Victor?
Yeah.
What is up with it? It's crazy. Paul Ben Victor. Oh, I recognize him. Oh, yeah. Okay, I know the scene. I know everything. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had like a little restaurant thing.
Shit. He was the one that did the talking.
Mm-hmm. Right on.
Great actor.
Oh, right on. So you said that was your number 2?
That's my 2.
Right on.
Straight horror movies where there's undeniably it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
And JP confirms that John Aston is still alive.
Yes. And Body Parts for me is a B-.
B-. What would you grade it, Nina?
Give it like a C+. I liked it. It's fun.
Right on. Okay, so we're going this way. So this would be my number 2,
yes,
which was Silence of the Lambs. So
back to me.
On to you with your number 1 movie of 1991.
I'm so excited. No one's said it yet. This is.
It's going to be my number 1. I know it.
Probably. I don't know.
I'm certain.
Probably mine too. I know mine
If
and Rick.
if it's not on your guys' list, there's something wrong with you.
Right.
Cape
That's what I'm
Fear-
saying. Like, nobody's brought it
Cape-
up. It's everybody's number
Cape
one.
Fear with De Niro.
It's not my
hands
number one.
down.
Okay, go ahead.
Cape Fear is it's a great movie. I saw it when I was like really young, and it's been a favorite of mine ever since. It's a Scorsese movie that doesn't feel like a Scorsese movie. It's got Jessica Lange, Juliette Lewis, Nick Nolte, and obviously De Niro, and it's a remake of
Yes.
an older movie, but it's so much fun. The music, if you've never seen the movie, you know the music regardless.
Yeah.
Right,
And
Ryan and I
it's-
were talking about this before we went live.
Yeah.
I love Robert De Niro. I love Martin Scorsese, two of my favorite things in the world.
Same.
But I don't remember Cape Fear. I haven't seen it
That's
since
what I'm
91.
saying. Like you don't.
So that's
you
why
don't
it's not on my
associate
list.
this with Scorsese. It's so.
But like I
it's so
told
much
him,
fun.
had I seen the movie this week, had I found it on something to watch, which I couldn't, it was something I had to pay for. So I was doing free movies first before I got the movies I had to pay for. So
Yeah.
had I watched it, I'm 100% certain it would be on my list. I don't know if it'd be number one, but it would definitely be on my list.
It's on my supplemental list because, again,
Ryan doesn't consider it horror.
Is it a horror movie? Is it not?
I don't know about you guys, but as a woman, it is on a horror list for me.
It's just,
All right, there you go.
It's a suspense / thriller first and foremost, but
Yeah.
you know.
He kills the dog. He rapes the woman that the husband is cheating on with, and he makes a pass at the daughter and is going after the daughter at her school. Like that's fucking terrifying.
And
Juliette Lewis again.
Since we're big time
Yeah.
wrestling fans, Waylon Mercy, who was
Dan Spivey,
stole his character from him, and then Bray Wyatt stole Waylon Mercy's character.
Pretty
Or
much.
didn't steal, WWE owned it, but that's where he got the character from.
That whole Bayou Madman type thing.
And I've seen the scenes where, with De Niro and bits and pieces.
De Niro.
What I've seen of it, I'm gonna say it's a horror movie.
De Niro was fantastic in this role. Robert Mitchum was better.
Yeah, but has De Niro ever not been fantastic?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
He's done a lot of comedies that were terrible.
Oh, they're freaking great.
Yeah, but it's not acting performance that anybody could have done. I mean, some of the movies he's done.
But I think in some of those movies, I think he was doing like an impression of a comedian doing an impression of him.
I guess.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what it seemed like to me. So, no, it wasn't fantastic acting. It was still great movies. I love De Niro. Okay. On to Ryan then with your number one, since it wasn't the same.
Well, Cape Fear is a B+ for me.
Oh yeah, we got a grade.
Oh, yeah. It's a B+ for me as well.
Okay, so you gave out 0 A's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm
very critical.
I only gave out one, and it's on the supplemental list. But my number one is my number one is the same as Rick's for straight horror.
There you go. All right.
The People Under the Stairs.
People Under the Stairs, and that's what I thought you were going.
About that one. Oh my gosh.
People Under the Stairs.
Listen initially. I'm so sorry.
I'm a giant Wes Craven fan.
He is more so than me, but I like him a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
For movies that are unquestionably horror, it's my number one.
And our guest from like last week or the week before, Robert Kurtzman, him and his crew, KMB, did the makeup and stuff in that. And the B, you were asking me, I think, who the B was in KMB. Was it you? Howard Berger.
Okay.
So Greg Nicotero, Robert Kurtzman, and Howard Berger. Those are the KMB guys. Jordan Peele is remaking the movie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
A lot of people are upset about it.
I'm not upset about it.
I'm curious to see what he does with it because he always does something different and interesting with this film. So it'll be. I'll check it out.
Oh, I'll definitely watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, so JP's getting out of here. He's going to hop over to the Cine Nerds live chat because his thing debuts at 8, and his is pre-recorded, but he's going to be in the chat talking to people.
Yeah.
So if you guys after this, which we're going to be wrapping up shortly, jump over to the YouTubes and go to the Cine Nerds page and chit chat with JP about whatever he was talking about tonight.
All right. So People Under the Stairs, we've all seen it. We all know it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a straight B for me.
Straight B. That was I had said there was 2 A's this year for me. People Under the Stairs and Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
I'll give it an A. If I had remembered about that movie, because it was initially on my list, and then I was watching them all.
Yeah.
If I had remembered, it would have been my number 2. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that makes me want to see Cape Fear even more.
So you brought up 2 films that made my supplemental list of ones that are better than any of the 5. But there's a third one that's also a thriller.
Okay.
And that's Barton Fink.
I have not seen that.
Yeah. I don't know this movie. I've heard of it.
The Coen Brothers film.
Oh, okay. I love the Coen Brothers.
So
is this the first Coen Brothers movie?
No, Blood Simple's the first.
Blood Simple, yeah, Blood Simple.
Yeah. And it's definitely more of a thriller and less of a horror. But if we're throwing thrillers in there, I had to mention it because I do like it better than People Under the Stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be a B+ for me, just like Cape Fear would be a B+ for me, and Silence of the Lambs is absolutely an A. So those are my 3, like borderline horror, and they catapult the other 5 I put. So
right on.
Oh, yeah.
So, and you said you had a third list, right?
Yeah. There's 3
movies that came out this year, right? Was that
3
your
big
list?
3. This one is not the worst of all because fuck that. But 3 big horror franchises put out movies this year, and I think they're just the worst of each one.
I know.
And
I know some of them, yeah.
3, 2. I'm just doing the bottom 3. Number 3 would be The Omen 4. It's just awful.
It is awful.
Just terrible, terrible.
Me and Michaela were watching those because again, that's more like her speed. The Omen.
Yeah.
We watched 1, and then we went to 2, and then once we got to 4, I didn't even finish it.
Yeah. Well, the original's so fucking good.
Yeah.
But yeah, this 4th one is the worst of the worst of the worst. And the second, number 2, and I know Rick, we've talked about this, and I know you like this movie, and I don't know why. I fucking hate it.
It's number 7 on my list.
Child's Play 3.
Just watched it today.
Terrible.
Not a fan. Yeah.
Oh, terrible.
I liked it. I don't know.
Oh, the worst of the worst. And of course, Freddy's Dead.
Freddy's Dead. Freddy's
Number
Dead
1
is worse than Omen 4.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
It is.
To each his own.
You know. Well, okay, look at the very next movie they made in that franchise, and then compare those 2, and let me get back to me.
Oh well, because Wes directed the next one. That's the difference.
Still, it's the same. It's the preceding movie of the same franchise, though.
Yeah, I know
that Wes had to come back to do it. Like,
that's what made him come back. Like this movie's so fucking bad.
Him.
No, I think New Nightmare is one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
He ranked it. He ranked it. Rick ranked New Nightmare as his favorite of all Nightmare on Elm Street films.
Yeah, wow. Probably. It goes back and forth between that and 1.
Well, when we did the official podcast,
the list, that's what I did.
You had it at 1.
I like it because it's just the whole concept of Freddy being trapped inside like literature and like movies and just media, and like if you stop telling stories about him, then just all the craziness, the fact that he was typing the movie as she's sitting there, just shit. It was just so different than anything that's ever been done. It just gave Freddy this whole new identity and took him close to what he was from the beginning. Because 1, he was scary. 2, he was kind of scary, and then he turned into a comedian.
2,
which I was cool with because I like to laugh, but he wasn't funny in New Nightmare.
in terms of just pure scariness, obviously the first movie is way better, but in part 2, he was scary as shit.
He was.
He came into the real world.
He
did. Into the real world,
which breaks all the rules of the whole mythology, but still, it makes it even scary. It can really come get you.
Right on.
But yeah, the main thing, besides it just being bad at some of Freddy's Dead, what it should have been and what it could have been, was amazing. If you ever looked into that Peter Jackson idea,
that looked pretty cool.
God, that sounds so amazing.
Yeah. And and Peter Jackson is a far superior director.
Well, yeah,
and he has a horror background. He's done horror movies before.
Yeah,
the 90s. I like to say for Peter Jackson, that was when he liked making movies.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah, he liked his paychecks better in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Oh, with the Lords of the Ring movies.
Yeah,
those movies would just bank.
He sleeps on beds made $1 million bills now. I mean,
yeah, so for sure.
Yeah. That's fine. It's whatever.
It's whatever. Okay. So we've been going for about an hour. That's usually what we go. So we're going to get out of here. I want to thank you so much for coming on with us and discussing 1991's horror, which was your idea. And thank you for that. You gave me some cool things to watch. And I will get, Sean, I will get your email or your address, not email, because I can't send a mask through email. It does not work that way.
I actually have his address.
You have his address? Okay.
I gifted him a Part 5 Hawk for his birthday a couple of years ago. He's getting all kinds of free masks from us.
You can put this one next to it. Signed and certified by JSA, all kinds of stuff.
Mine was signed too by me because I made the mask.
Yeah, Ryan makes and paints Friday 13th hockey masks. So yeah, he does that. He does a good job. You can probably see a couple of them over my shoulder that way. Yeah.
Somewhere.
Okay.
He made all of those.
Nice.
All those
That's
except for the
awesome.
part 6, which isn't even in the view. It's out of the shot. But yeah. Oh, and he made the one that's on Roy behind me, which is a much better version of the part 5 because it's on much better stock.
Yeah.
That one's like it's almost exactly like the movie. It's got the same straps as the movie and everything. So that
was
was
molded from the one in the film.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So right on. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you again for coming on. And then we are going to just kill this. But anybody that's still on their computer or their phone and wants to do something fun, go check out JP Cross on the Cine Nerds podcast. Charles Sherrod isn't doing his thing tonight, so he won't be on there. Right. Go to our page and check out our video of the interview we did with Adam Marcus and Robert Kurtzman and Marcy King.
You mean the interview you did with them?
I did, yeah. Because we couldn't have Ryan on. We couldn't have because he hates Jason Goes to Hell, and I didn't want it to turn into a whole thing. And it was all. Have you seen Secret Santa, Nina?
No, I downloaded it so I could watch it, but I didn't get a chance to. So
yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think. It's Adam Marcus. Don't listen to him. It's won awards at every festival it was in. People love it. He hates it. And again, it's Adam's baby. You know, I didn't want negativity in there.
I don't hate it. I didn't like it, but
I know you hate Jason Goes to Hell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I used to not like it too, but then I after hearing Adam explain his ideas,
he made friends with the director.
About it, I liked it. I liked it when I was a kid. And then when I grew up and watched it, it lost a lot of its luster. And then after meeting Adam and discussing it with him, I liked it better. I don't think that anything he could say will make Ryan like it, though.
No.
Yeah.
3 things before we get out of here.
Yeah.
Number 1, Rams 24, Saints 20 tonight.
Oh, yeah, we didn't do that.
Number 2, Nina, whenever your new project is ready, you let us know and we'll promote that for you. And thank you again. Thank you for coming on. We do appreciate that.
Thanks, guys. It means a lot to be on here. And you guys reaching out to me many times after I left the dolls, it really meant a lot. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Right on. Awesome. Yeah.
And anybody got anything else?
No.
Follow me on Candles and Creepy Stuff.
Oh, yeah. Your thing. Just go ahead and say it again.
Candles and Creepy Stuff on Instagram.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool
I already do, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that in about 1 minute.
Okay.
But until then, boys and girls, there goes the neighborhood.